her family being such a big presence in reality TV, you've got cameras in your face constantly.
Yeah.
When you wake up, you're brushing your teeth, you're going to the store.
And early on in like the early years, it was more, right? It was like less produced.
Legit reality.
Yeah.
As you go on, like things start to be like, okay, they'll suggest stuff like, okay, maybe we can go on a date. Like you guys go on a date today. You know, once we were married, they were like, how about you guys go out and play tennis today? And so we said, that sounds fun. Let's do it.
But after like 15 years of filming them, they needed more ideas of what to do.
Whenever they had run out of normal life stuff to do.
And when you were courting, did they allow you, like, could the camera guy be the quote unquote chaperone, or did you still need a sister or brother to be with you?
Cameras weren't enough.
Cameras weren't enough.
Yeah, right.
Even though you got the hard evidence.
Yeah. We always had to have a chaperone there with us.
Yeah. And that was an interesting thing about even like that purity culture was, it was, I think it played the rules, not the game, if you know what I mean. Like it was so focused on like the formal rules of, okay, this is how you must have a relationship or conduct yourself, that at times it missed the whole point of what building a relationship is, you know? So that was a wild ride with the chaperones and all that. But I'll tell you this, like with the cameras, she's so comfortable with cameras. Like I think sometimes Ginger's more comfortable behind a camera than she might be in normal life at times, just because it was like, you know, obviously that's an overstatement, but like she grew up with it. Whereas I never got that comfortable where they would be like, we're on a date and you've got like 3 cameramen around you with a mic boom and a producer, and they're saying cut, and there's extras in the restaurant, you know, having a free meal.
No.
And then it's like, all right, have a meal. Talk about
you know, your first kiss. Talk about whatever, you know. And they would give us like talking points, and so then you just walk through it. And it wasn't staged, but it was like prompts. So if we weren't giving them enough, we need a little prompt.
Who were these extras that just happened to, you know, be
they would use them all the time, just like if it was like a set dinner, then sometimes they would do that, or put like a couple friends who would just come sit in the background at a couple tables.
So we had our favorite restaurant in Laredo, which is where when we got married, we were living in Laredo, Texas. And it's called the Border Foundry. And to this day, we have not found a restaurant in LA that's as good as the Border Foundry. Yeah. So it was just this incredible steakhouse on the border of Mexico. And so we'd go there all the time. But when we would film there, the restaurant owner would just have his friends come for a free meal. And so like they were stoked for that.
That's probably such a fun party thing for those people to bring up. They're like, by the way, I was an extra
on episode 5 of season 10.
Funny. I have so many questions for you. So like, did you intend, or I guess like when you were growing up and starting to think about like getting married, did you like know you were going to pursue like a courtship type of relationship, or was that something that, and how did you meet a Duggar daughter? Like how did that whole process come to be?
Yeah, so no, I mean, I didn't grow up in the same setting as her, so I didn't even really understand I mean, I had heard the term courtship because years earlier, there was like... Josh Harris had a book, I Kissed Dating Goodbye, that was like real popular amongst certain, you know, Christians, and so I'd heard of it, but we never had bought into that. So I really didn't understand the dynamics of what courtship was, and I definitely didn't think I would, you know, be dating and then marry a girl who's on TV or anything like that. So it was just pure providence of how I met her. And so, yeah, I didn't really have a conception of it. And here's the interesting thing too, is like, I had no idea who Bill Gothard was. I had no idea even the religious setting that she was in. So I just showed up because my buddy Ben Seawald, who married Jessa, is like, hey, come on out. You know, I'm with the Duggars at this conference in Texas. So I'm like, cool. And I'd been to conferences before. And so I stepped into that world, and it was kind of like shocking, but initially just in kind of a pleasant way. I was just like, wow, look, everybody's super happy, and everybody dresses the same, which, you know, I immediately noticed. Like, it was kind of like cookie cutter, but it was a really pleasant experience at first. I was just like, wow, everybody has a ton of kids, and I had no idea like the theological foundations for that.
Why behind it.